Hello Stampers, it's Faye from Faye's Stampin' Studio, and it's June the 12th in the year 2021. So this morning, or this evening I guess, I've got a few things I want to share with you. I'm going to, in a short while, I'm going to demonstrate the soft pastels with you, but I just had a couple other things I wanted to share first. So I'm just going to kind of move these out of the way so that we can see them. Now, I had a friend of mine call and ask me if I would do a private little birthday party for her granddaughter who turned 6. So I Googled some 3D projects and I came up with this cute one, and I'm really sorry you can't really see the candle burning in here. And I can't recall who actually showed it. I changed her project up a little bit. I put a bottom in it so that the candle would sit in it rather than just the frame work. Either way, it was really cute. And if you're the person who did that, I'm sorry. Can't remember what your name is. And I also have this one too. So yes, we had a great time, and it was so much fun crafting with a young, eager gal. So it was, and the other project we did was this cute little card made from Whale of a Time. And I just realized we forgot to put the sequins on her cards. We were having so much fun playing around that totally missed that one. So that was what we did with her today. So that's kind of fun. I enjoyed to do that with the kids. And then I'm going to show you a couple of things that I've done with the soft pastels. So I made this one out of the soft pastels, and I used the Forever Blossoms stamp set. It's one I pulled out. I haven't used it for quite a long time. But it worked really well. These outline stamps work really great for doing the pastel coloring. And so on this one, I stamped it with Tuxedo Black, and then I just used the chalks and colored in, and came in with my blending pens and just spread the colors around and touch them up. So that's what I did for this one. And I used the pattern Party Designer Series paper that you can just get as a hostess gift right now. And that designer paper is 12 by 12, and you get 48 sheets of it. So that's really a lot. And then the other one that I did was, I did it on black, and I used the white embossing powder, and I used the chalks again, and I as well used the blending pens. I find the blending pens give you a lot of control because they're not so wet as using the water painters are, as what the water painters are. But I haven't really planned a system for my demonstration tonight to show you it, so I'm flying by the seat of my pants on that one. So we're gonna find out what works and what doesn't really work. So yeah, this was white embossed, and then you heat it with your heating tool, and then again I just colored in the areas, and that turned out good. I just didn't have time to come up with the rest of a card on it. I actually forgot I was doing this tonight until 7 o'clock, so I was kind of rushing around trying to figure out what else I had to do with it. So anyway, that was just a bit of a panic on my part. I had such a fun afternoon that I was forgetting I had to do more tonight. So I've decided on using the Beautiful Moments, and we're going to use, I'm going to go with the gal, and I'm going to stamp with the Memento ink. So we're going to build a scene, on here. So we're gonna do a few techniques all together, for sure with that. So I'm going to start off with just stamping the young lady walking out into the meadow with some tall grass growing or flowers, whatever you may have. And I've got that image. So I think I'm going to put the grass out the rest of the way as well, so that it's across the whole sheet of the paper. So you just have to add on to it and do it how you like. And then the other thing I thought I might do is I'm going to put this here across there. It would sort of look like a bit of a cloud. And I'm going to use the pastels on her dress, but then after that we're going to just use the blending brushes to do the background. So I'm going to try that out and see if that works. I have no idea how it's going to go on here. Just going to stamp the one guy off and the other two up a little higher. So I think that looks kind of nice. So we're going to go with that for now. I'll put that away. And I'm going to start off with doing this. So I'm going to use this green, which I believe it's Granny Apple Green. It says these colors are, this is Coastal Cabana. We've got Daffodil Delight, Gorgeous Grape, and this is Granny Apple Green, and this is Mango Melody, Mossy Meadow, and Night of Navy, and this is Poppy Parade. I was going to say this was Calypso Coral maybe, but so those are the colors that they're telling us these are. So I think I'll start with I'm going to start with the green on the, and I actually just used these like a chalk. I don't know if for anybody that's been around Stampin' Up for a long time, we used to have what they were called, I think they were chalks, if I remember correctly. I don't know if any of you remember that or not. You don't have to worry about being right in the, and then I'm just going to make some lines, and we're going to use I'm going to use the water painters this time, and we'll just see how that does work for us. I'm not just too sure. I could have made these flowers, but I like them green, actually. I kind of thought it was different. So I'm going to use the water painters, and we're going to find out if it spoils it or not. And just spread it out with them. They work the same as and you can use them like this, and it's coloring. And then after, I'm going to just try and brush up the background with the blending brushes. So this is a true experiment on my part tonight. And again, I think you can just do these however. And thanks to my demonstrator friend Karen, she pointed them out to me. I actually totally missed these in the catalog. They're on page 126. They kind of blend right in. I just never really paid any attention to them. Like I said, I didn't really even see them. They didn't catch my eye at all. They again blended in, and you get these. They're $12.25 for that set, so it's pretty reasonable and way to get started if you're new to it. For those of you who aren't familiar, you just kind of clean the color out of your brush by rubbing it onto a mat or whatever. And now we'll see about that later. Might do some more highlighting in there. And I think I I'll do her hair in Mango Melody, because to me it just looks like a blonde, since there aren't any browns or anything like that. So she's going to have Mango Melody hair, which to me looks more like, and the chalks kind of can break off, so if you don't want them, you just have to brush them off. Cleaning my brush again, and now her dress, I'm going to color it with Gorgeous Grape. Love this color. My young gal that was here today, she loves purple too, so I hope she gets to see this. She will like it. And now I'm going to fill in the colors just with my water brush. This is pretty easy, but very simple method to do it. Actually, it works quite well. The true test is going to be when I start using my blender brushes to see what happens here. Now, I don't have a color for her skin, so I'm going to pull in another technique, and I'm going to use my Ivory Stampin' Blend to do her arms in skin tone for a lash tone. So we have a little bit of everything going on this card. Okay, it's time for the true test. See how I can make out with the background. I thought I would use can use a little bit of the green just through here, I thought. Like I said, I hope I don't wreck it. So I have to pull in my blending brushes. So I just do a quick rub on my mat, right onto the stamp pad. And then you start off of the stamp pad. I'm just trying to get in close in behind there without going too much onto things. I might have to add a little bit of darker green on here. I'm going to let it dry a little bit. And then I think we'll do our Coastal Cabana through here. And then at the end, we'll just add a little bit of some other colors to make the sky look like it's different shades. So if you're watching me, give me a thumbs up or a like, or just say hello, just so I know you're there. And yeah. So with these, it's actually relatively easy to get fairly close to what I've just colored in, but so I forgot to start off the edge there, but we didn't cause too much damage. It's just a little bit different shade. Sometimes if you start right on the page, you end up with it just too vibrant of a color if you don't get it off. Just want to get a little bit of color in there. And a little bit more here. Love the way the colors catches on the edge of the cardstock. Now, I was going to try the Fluid 100 watercolor paper too, but like I said, I didn't have an opportunity to try it, so maybe that'll be in another video. How that turned out. I think that's turning out quite lovely, actually. And now, I'm not sure if I can get it fine enough. I think we're going to use a little bit of this Highland Heather on there. But for sure I don't want much, so I just want to catch it just to give it a bit of a glow, a different look in there. Sometimes you get going and you get too much, then it spoils it too. And maybe I want to try some pink. So I think we'll go with polished pink. It's a bright, bright pink. So that's one of the new in colors. It's such a beautiful shade of pink. Okay, here goes, you guys. Keep your fingers crossed for me here. Well, it doesn't really look a whole lot different than the purple does in there, does it? It's not a huge difference. But I think I better stop while I'm ahead. And the last thing I want to do is, like I said, I want to go back in here and I'm going to use the Mossy Meadow and see if I can just get some darker streaks of green in the grass. I'm just using it's just like a chalk. They're kind of cool. And they're in this sponge holder to protect them because I'm sure they can be pretty fragile. I'm almost thinking I'm wrecking it here, but maybe not. Kind of messed it up, I think. So I'm not so crazy over it, so we're going to tone it down. Just have to move that chalk pastel around a bit more. There. But I think overall it's turned out quite nicely. And so we have to figure out what else we're going to do with this now that we've got this far down. I'm just going to put my pastels away. And wonder if there's any designer paper in here that I don't actually need designer paper, I don't think. Sometimes though I like to use designer paper for to show up on the edges of it. Just thinking here. Let's see, I was looking here, this one here. A person could maybe use this as a backdrop on the side. It looks all right. And I think our card base, we're going to pull out Gorgeous Grape. I have to cut a piece. I didn't have it cut. Again, I didn't know what it was going to turn out like, so I was just kind of waiting. I didn't want to have stuff cut that wasn't going to be used. So we're going to score it at 4 1/4. This is 8.5 by 11 inch piece. Score it at 4 1/4. I always like to do the whole sheet. Then I have one ready for me so I always have an extra one with the score mark. So sometimes that saves you time when you're just wanting to put something together quickly. And I guess I need to cut my designer paper. Now this piece was 3 3/4 by 5 inches. So this one I'm going to make it 4 inches, I think, by 5 1/4. So that'll be 1/4 of an inch bigger. So that'll give us a nice border around it. Like this. This looks kind of nice. And on here, pulls the color out of her dress. And maybe we can, okay, I'm going to adhere this onto the designer paper. And then I'm going to find some, I think we'll use the seam binding, the crinkled seam binding. It's so versatile because you can make it any color you want with your blending pans. So we have a few techniques happening on this card tonight. And before I adhere it on here, where did I put that? Here it is, right here. So here's the Whisper White, and it is called Crinkled Seam Binding. So I think we'll tie a little piece on here around the bottom. I want to just figure out how much roughly I need before I color it. This is more than I need, but I'm just going to move that out of the way for a minute. And I'm thinking I'm going to make this, I think I'll make it Fresh Freesia, one of the new in colors. It's a purple shade, but if I have it, that's not it. This is it, the Fresh Freesia. So all you have to do is just to color it in and quickly color it. I think that'll go on there okay. It actually looks more pink. Well, let's see here. We'll do it this way, and then maybe we'll have to do something else with it to make it look a little different. Maybe I'll have to use my Gorgeous Grape on here to make something different. This was another technique that my team and I talked about, that one of the girls had seen it, and so we fell in love with that. It just makes the ribbon stand out. And again, this is so versatile because you can make it into any color you want. And this ribbon is really easy to handle too, because it's so soft, and it ties really nicely too. Okay, well, let's go with, I don't know if I have Highland Heather. I don't think there's a Gorgeous Grape in. Let's see how dark the Highland Heather is on here. Okay. I wonder if I can make a line that goes kind of like this across it, and what it would do. Experimenting. You guys are my guinea pigs today, which I don't care for it. So you know what? It's getting a full dose. It's getting a full color over top of it. And when you do this, you want to make sure you use the side of your blending pen, because if you use the tip, you're going to bend it. It's going to be hard on it. It's just a lot better to use the side. And it's faster too. It doesn't take very long. You can have it all done in no time. So as you can see, you can make this any color you want. Okay. I'm going to tie this on here. I'm going to tie it right at the very edge and move it, because I think I can tie my bow better with a little bit of, get it tighter on that card if I use the corner. Sometimes I got bows that go every direction. Just like that. Trim it down a little. Well, I didn't have a whole lot too much. And if it's not laying the way you'd like, you can always just stick a mini glue dot in behind the ribbon to kind of hold it in place, which I think I'll do that. Pull one off of here. And I'm going to put it right in there, right by the bow. It'll just help to have it lay nice. And again, just use this. We'll use the bone folder to burnish the score line well. Or if you don't have a burnishing tool, you can just score it and you can just fold it in half. That works too. And put this on here. I'm going to use our Stampin' Seal. Forgot to have my silicone mat handy. That works so well with this. If it quits working, just give it a quick little rub on that silicone mat and it smartens it right up. Well, in person didn't stay on. Okay. Ooh, sticking on my fingers, if nothing else. And there, that's the way that is. Okay. Now the only other thing is if I wanted to stamp a greeting on here, which we could do that. I think out of here there's something small that would fit, and I think I would stamp it directly on here. I could say thinking of you, or too busy. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave that until I decide who's getting this card and figure out what else I want to add to it. Now we could add some embellishments as well to it, but I think again I'm going to leave that too, because I'm not just too sure at the moment where it's going and if I'm going to add anything else. So I'll totally finish it up when I'm ready to give it away. So I hope you've enjoyed tonight's video, and if you're watching on YouTube, please like, share, comment, and if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. And thank you, and we'll see you again next Saturday night at 8 o'clock. Bye for now.